Alright. Does everybody can hear me? Let me go check. Alright. We good. Alright. We're definitely tier ranking Souls games. Yes. The game made from software. The best games they ever made. Don't I gotta leave that thing on before it turns off, which end the stream, which does happen. So yes, we're tier ranking all seven Soul games by difficulty. I was about to do like my mind was like my mind was wanting to do like a tier ranking Souls games, but even though my body feels like I'm laid down, but even though I'm just doing it right now just to get this over with, so hope that's fine for y'all. So we're playing. I did all seven Soul games. Yes, I know everybody. I know people be thinking, but you posted five Souls games, but you didn't post it Bloodborne and Demon Souls. Yes, it's because I don't have PlayStation. All I've been playing Souls games is at my friend's house, and I've been finishing two Souls games. So yeah. All right. Enough talk. Without further ado, let's tier rank Souls games. Okay, the very top says very hard, which is like the hardest game. Orange is hard, which is like okay, this it's definitely hard, but it's not actually the hardest. Lord gets a little bit difficult, gets a little bit more difficult, challenging. Okay, I like the challenge of it. Easy, freaking piece of cake. All right, next up is Demon Souls. Um, Demon Souls, mine is challenging or a little hard, but I would say Demon Souls challenging. Even though, okay, some of the bosses I definitely, some of the bosses is like kind of like straightforward all of a sudden, but some bosses I kind of struggle. But the con part, but even though the more harder than even though the most worst part, you even though there's no mid checkpoints, if you even though there is a bonfire for a checkpoint, it's after you beat that boss battle. That's what it is, which is kind of sufferable. But even though it is what it is, Demon Souls definitely challenging. All right, Dark Souls 1. Hmm. I was about to. I was thinking a little hard, but even though some of the people just helped me beat Dark Souls 1 by the Souls glitch, which kind of like a little bit ruins the difficult. I'll just say, but even though at least it was fun. I was like Dark Souls 1 definitely a little hard. Even though it won't be hard like afterwards of it. So, all right. Next, Dark Souls 2. I heard this is like the worst Souls games ever, but even though we're going to get to that another video over this. So, Dark Souls 2, it's not made from Miyazaki. It was some other developer from software. Even though it is so hard, because even though there's enemies attacking you, like there's enemies come at you, like even though there are like five enemies, they beat the crap out of you until you're freaking clean it, until you wipe out clean. Like that is like, even though some of the bosses are kind of tough, I'll just say Even though I beat the DLCs, and I was it makes me want to put very hard, but I wasn't as sure of it. So even though yes, to be honest, I did cheese some of the bosses, yes, but even though it was so sufferable, I I might have to say I might put it as challenging or no. I was going to say hard or very hard, but even though I'm gonna put Dark Souls 2 hard. All right, next up, Bloodborne. Finished playing Bloodborne. Even though it definitely kind of enjoy it though. Even though, well, I did say I did enjoy Bloodborne, but I even don't want to spoil out what I think about it. But you know what? Being honest, I did not like Dark Souls 2. I kind of like it, Dark Souls 2, but kind of don't like of it. So we'll get the top of that to another video. Anyways, Bloodborne. I did beat Bloodborne, but some of the bosses I miss. Even though that I didn't play the DLC because my friend, even though Bloodborne was on PlayStation Plus, so I could play the game for I can get it's like Xbox Game Pass when you get the game that is definitely free on Game Pass. You can play it when you get the Game Pass. This is PlayStation Plus. You can play it on the game for free, even though it's still on game. Still, you got the subscription to PlayStation Plus. Even though I don't know if they have a PlayStation Plus DLC. I don't for free. I don't think so. But even though, anyways, uh, Bloodborne, I would say a little hard. Okay, very hard. But I hate to say, I'm gonna be fully honest. I cheesed some of the bosses. But even though it was kind of difficult, all of a sudden, very difficult, I'll just say, to help. It's okay. It's okay to be like, you crybaby, can't handle the boss. Okay. Even though DLCs, I played it fair and square, like Dark Souls 2 and 3, I played it fair and square. I was like, oh, man, I kind of like regret cheesing to some of the bosses. But even though it'll be fun though, but Bloodborne, I will say, very hard. All right, next, Dark Souls 3. All right, this is the final. This is like the final installment of Dark Souls series. Ooh, I would say hard, but it's not the hardest game, I'll just say. But even though yes, I cheese on the bosses, even though the DLCs you guys see, I play fair and square. You know, I kind of regret that, but even though it was pretty fun, I would say Dark Souls 3. It's gonna stay on. Dark Souls 3 hard, not very hard. Oh, all right, sorry about that. My dog is barking. I had to had to stop talking because I might have to edit that video on YouTube. So, anyways, Dark Souls 3 is hard, so I'll put not the hardest. And now next, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, very hard. Even though it's not a even though it is a Souls like, but it's not like if you die you lose your stuff. But even though you lose some of the stuff, but even though it causes people to get the dragon rot, the Sekiro is really the best games I kind of enjoyed. Even though I got the Sekiro Mortal Blade, it's a really cool blade. Even though I got it at the anime convention, and even though I played it twice, even though it okay, the first playthrough was very hard. I had to be honest. I did cheese of it too. Yes, shame on me. Like, put a shame on me. Everybody just say, everybody's gonna be saying shame on me. Yes, shame on me too. Even though it is hard, some of the even though the, it's kind of like Dark Souls 2, because Dark Souls 2, when there's too much enemies, they start attacking you. This is the same thing. This is the same thing that's happening. This is the same thing. Even though like even though when you're trying to fight the mini boss or a boss battle, there'd be like freaking random enemies just popped out, and random enemies just want to fight you because you don't want to fight three of them at once because it makes it not fair for you. But you're trying to get rid of the boss. But even though you get like quad team, you get 15, you get 10 people team at you because of that because you want to fight that boss. It's like kind of like Dark Souls 2. But even though some of the bosses are really tough, but even though the second playthrough was kind of not bad, even though even though like Dark Souls 2, even though like second playthrough was Sekiro, it was not that bad. Even though I did play it fair and square until like I cheesed some of the bosses. Even though I just use that Mortal Blade a lot because even though it feels like it's kind of easy using a Mortal Blade, so I'll put Sekiro on very hard. And now next, it is Elden Ring. One of the best Souls games ever. And one game of the year. Two Souls games, one game of the year. It's crazy. I would say a little hard or hard. Yes, shame on me. I did cheese some of the bosses. Yes, shame on me too. But even though I did ask some of the people help with some of the bosses, I just kind of like struggle or just get this over with. Yes, that's a shame. I kind of regret that. And I was about to say, okay, some people say Elden Ring is like the easiest Souls games, which I might agree with it. Even though, okay, some of the bosses are like, if you find a cave, it'd be like an easy boss, and some of the bosses will be very difficult until you got it. Even though I might have to say little hard or hard, but the DLC was definitely the most hardest DLC I ever had. It was definitely like freaking like really best. I guess really the best DLC. But even though it's very tough, and I'm gonna say a little hard or definitely like okay. Some of the bosses I already like I found in the cave or other things. It just took me like I beat it like one try, and sometimes I beat it like twice. It took me two tries to beat it, and some of the bosses took me a lot than I expected. So, but it was a really good game. Oh, sorry, my dogs was barking in my dad's home. Anyways, Elden Ring, I would say a little hard, but some of the bosses are kind of like more difficult. But even though it is what it is, I will say Elden Ring a little hard. All right, that's it. Okay. Um. All right, so that's it. Um.